You're listening to Heart of Care, a podcast by the Australian Medical Community Union. I'm your host, John, here to share real stories, bold voices, and deep reflections from the front line of healthcare. We also welcome stories and voices from you, our listeners. Send us your article, script, or experience to AMCU Media and Outlook. Come and help us shape the future of care together. Episode title: White Coats, Red Lines, Myanmar's Medical Resistance. Strangled by the state, the silencing of Burma's healers. Welcome to White Coats, Red Lines, a podcast from the heart of healthcare resistance. I'm John, your host from the Australian Medical Community Union. Today's episode dives deeper into one of the most disturbing humanitarian stories in Southeast Asia: the brutal crackdown on Myanmar's medical professionals by the country's military junta. Since the coup in 2021, doctors, once symbols of hope and healing, have been treated as enemies of the state. Let's uncover what's happening through the voice of someone living this story. Segment 1: When Protest Becomes a Crime. Dr. Min, thank you for joining us. Can you begin by telling us what your life was like before the coup?
Thank you, John. Before the coup, I worked as a general physician in Mandalay. I had just opened a small outpatient clinic and volunteered in rural communities. On weekends, I ran free health checkups in village schools. I saw medicine as a way to serve and uplift.
John, and when the coup happened?
It felt like everything we believed in shattered overnight. Our hospital heads were replaced with military officers. Some were ordered to report staff who didn't return to work. I joined the CDM immediately. I knew I couldn't serve under fear. I attended rallies, wore my white coat, and held a sign that said, "Doctors do no harm, so why should we serve harm?"
Dr. Min was charged under Law 505A, a vaguely written provision used to silence any dissent. Peaceful protest was reclassified as causing public fear.
Just wearing my coat at a rally was enough. My name was read on state TV. I received phone threats. Then came a warrant. I left my house that night.
You never returned?
No, that house no longer exists. It was raided and seized. My clinic signboard was torn down. My medical records, patient files, all gone. That was my life's work.
Segment 2: Banned from healing. Let's talk about what came next. Your license?
Revoked without process. A PDF notice on Facebook, just names, no reasoning. I was branded unfit for duty, and when I went to renew my passport, I was told my name had been flagged by the Home Affairs Ministry. No travel, no exit. I was trapped.
You mentioned applying overseas?
Yes, I had a preliminary job offer in Malaysia and started applying through the Australian Medical Council, but the University of Medicine in Yangon refused to verify my transcripts. They said orders from above prevented any certification without military clearance. That's how they destroy us, not by bullets, but by silence.
This tactic is common. Dozens of Burmese doctors in exile face the same blockade. Degrees are left unverifiable, rendering them ineligible for licensing abroad. It's an invisible cage.
We're cut off from the world. They punish us without putting us in prison, just make it impossible to be who we are.
Segment 3: In Exile. Still a doctor. Tell us about life on the border.
I share a dormitory with 5 other refugees. Some nights, we hear gunfire from across the border. I run mobile clinics with donated supplies. We treat fevers, malnutrition, infected wounds, pregnancies without scans, everything.
Are you supported by any health groups?
Some underground networks help, but we're on our own for the most part. We can't register or go to the police. I've treated patients with dengue who walked 5 hours to see me, others with trauma injuries from landmines. I've even delivered 2 babies with only a torch and clean cloth.
And how do you stay resilient?
You don't have time to fall apart. When you hold a sick child in your arms, you remember your oath. It's bigger than a license. We don't practice medicine for prestige, we practice because we care.
Segment 4: The Family Left Behind. Have you had any contact with your family?
Only through secure messengers. I haven't seen them in over 3 years. I fear any call I make might be tracked. They've been harassed. My mother was visited by soldiers. My father's phone was confiscated.
Would you return if things changed?
In a heartbeat. I dream of rebuilding my clinic, but I've accepted that may never happen. If I can serve anywhere, even under a tree, I'll do it.
Segment 5: What the World Must Know. Min, what do you want to say to the world?
Please understand, Burmese doctors aren't fleeing for wealth, we're running for our lives. We want to work. We're trained. We're ready. But the world must create pathways for medical refugees. We ask. Let exiled doctors prove their credentials without junta involvement. Recognize Law 505A as political persecution. Support healthcare workers in resistance zones.
What happens in Myanmar isn't isolated. It is a warning. When care is criminalized, tyranny spreads. This has been episode 2 of The Heart of Care. White coats, red lines, strangled by the state. Thank you, Dr. Min, for your courage. Subscribe, share, and stand with those who heal, even when the world turns against them. Headphone, join us next time for more voices from the frontline of healthcare resistance. That's it for this episode of Heart of Care. If something you heard today moved you, challenged you, or inspired you, share the episode and be part of the conversation. Got a story to tell or a piece to share? We'd love to hear from you. Email us. Until next time, stay connected, stay courageous, and keep the heart of care alive.